Hey, how is everyone? Yeah. Good morning to everybody here and on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you for joining us. We deeply appreciate you. I want to let you know that our theme today is Free at Last, and we are going to continue our series of crafting beloved communities through diversity, equity, and inclusion. Remembering our mission statement that we are love in action, transforming lives and transforming communities, I'd like to begin today's precious and divine time with a prayer called the invocation. So I'm going to invite everybody who's comfortable to close your eyes and let the energy of the space fill every cell in your body. We're going to take a deep breath, remembering the truth of the infinite source of all, the one who is called by many names, God, the omnipresence, Allah, the creator, the great spirit. I also know that with each breath, we are not only connecting to the creator, but we're also connecting to all of our sisters and brothers, to all of our animal family, and to Mother Earth. We are one. As we sit in this divine remembering of our connection to everything, we open up our hearts and be present where we are. I affirm and declare that this time together that we will be sharing has been created from love. And each of us will receive magnificent opportunities to embrace our divine good, our divine truth, and our divine power right here, right now.
Good morning. So Throughout the year, we organize these services in themes, and right now our theme is crafting community. Our theme before this one was courageous transformation, and I was thinking a lot about, how do these themes take root in me, and what do I take from all of this? And I love that we're doing crafting community coming out of this series on courageous transformation, because for me, I just recognized a calling of like, how do I even make a difference in the world? How can I be a stand for what I believe in? And really what I believe in is this belief in no separation. And so to celebrate Juneteenth and to celebrate Father's Day, I went looking for some sort of statement for myself of what it means to be a man at this place and this time. So this is a poem, and happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. And this is a poem by Rashima called Sacred Masculine. I believe in sensitive and kind men. I believe in the mystical men who believe in themselves, in men who seek temperance and peace inside them. I believe in men poets, dreamers, magicians, writers, alchemists, artists, teachers, and angels. I believe in men who like to dance and sing and make life a celebration. I believe in men who embrace their wounded inner child, listen to him, and embrace him true. I believe in men who want to heal and help each other heal. I believe in men who refuse to be slaves to their own wound, and despite that pain, they clean it and heal it patiently with love and courage. I believe in men who come from the stars and remember the power of their wings, the power of their hands, and the power of their heart. I believe in men who know of intuition and use it as their compass. I believe in men who share freedom because they are free and do not know any other way to live. I believe in the men protective of women's energy, who know how to read the look of their beloved and who do not intend to change it, simply accompany it wisely on their flight. I believe in full men who don't need anything from outside because they already know that everything has it inside. I believe in men who make fire when they are cold, that take refuge in water when they are thirsty. I believe in men with truthful eyes. They see themselves, and that's why they love and respect every creature that exists on earth. I believe in men perfectly imperfect, because in that imperfection, they also find their beauty. I believe in sensitive men who know how to receive and give love in balance, who listen and who also speak, those who live and let live. I believe in men who live sexuality as sacred because they know that it is a wonderful gift, in men with clear feelings which are accessible, in men who walk barefoot and speak to the plants. I believe in the tender and wild men at the same time. I believe in the sacred male and in all the divinity in which they have stood.
I believe in you. Good morning, my name is Joy Lynn, and I am a spiritual practitioner here at the Albuquerque Center. Good morning, my name is Joy Lynn.
Yay!
And I am a practitioner here at the Albuquerque Center. It is now time for our candle lighting service and our prayer requests. For those of you online, please put an emoji in the comments, or you can write out your prayer request and we will say them out loud and light a candle for you. For those of you in the room, you can speak your intention and your request here and light your candle and then speak your intention here. So what I know for sure is that we are the light, that we move towards the light. We move with the light, as the light, in the light. And so as we begin this process of lighting our intentions and our heart's desires, I invite you to come forward now.
We light a candle for Max and all of our troops. This prayer request is coming from Miss Joanna Clark.
We light a candle for our Prac 1 students who are beginning their 21st week next Saturday.
Prayer for my mom, Alexis Powers, knowing that her continued mobility gets better and better, that her incision heals perfectly and beautifully, and that she's back to her annoying, mean, spirited self. And so,
Yay, Alexis.
With love. I just lit a candle for my sister and brother-in-law's kitty. Puss Puss has been very sick, so if we could just send prayers for Puss Puss.
Puss, puss. Meow. Everything is working out for our highest good.
Deborah Schoenbaum asks that on this Juneteenth, she wants to light a candle to the courage, resiliency, and love within the African American community.
Every thought we think is creating our future.
We light a candle for emancipation.
As I say yes to life, I say life says yes to me.
We light a candle for all of the fathers present and not present with us.
We are divinely guided and protected at all times.
I light a candle for Lori Martinez for her continued recovery and extraordinary health.
Elizabeth Nunez asks for a candle lit for her grandpa. May he continue to find strength during his recovery and come home to them soon.
Deep at the center of our being is an infinite well of love.
Kelly Sangden asked for prayer for Kat and Fran, comfort, healing, and love. And so knowing that we are called here by divine appointment, knowing that each of these seats here in present and wherever you are online were designed and designated just for you so that we could share this time together. Knowing that our prayers for our community as we continue this great adventure, our next great adventure, continue easily and effortlessly with love and peace and joy. Knowing that every prayer and intention is heard, whether we have spoken it or it is unspoken, whether it is known in this moment or unknown. We pray for you throughout this week with love and deep appreciation. And so it is.
Well, hello, beloveds. I've missed you. I am just going to take in your faces, and I'm just going to know that through this very camera, I am seeing all the beauty on the other side. And let's just breathe together for a moment. Celebrating freedom. Happy Freedom Day. celebrating our fathers and that divine masculine that's been holding it down for millennia, taking it all in. Taking it all in and remembering that it is always good and moving for good. And that as we celebrate freedom today, we have to celebrate what it means to be free. So let's just get into it, because it's uncomfortable shit. Ernest Holmes, the founder of Science of Mind, says, in our ignorance of truth, we have misused the highest power we possess. And so great is the power, so complete is our freedom in it, so absolute the domain of law through it, that the misuse of this power has brought upon us the very conditions from which we suffer. Yeah, amen. Read the shirt. Amen. Amen. Our misuse of power is the cause of all suffering in the history of this planet. But I think it's important to go back to the first line. In our ignorance of the truth, we have misused the highest power we possess. The ignorance of truth is the misuse of power. And who takes responsibility for ignorance? Anybody? Who can be ignorant? Me, you. So who gets to take responsibility for your ignorance? I do. Let's go to the definition of power. One definition is possession of control, authority or influence over others. Yet physics tells us that energy delivered or transferred is defined as power. Energy delivered or transferred. Any of you breathing today? Which means you are alive. And you know how you become alive? Because you have energy animating your being. And that energy has one source. Anybody? Spirit, the divine, Allah, the creator. Whatever you want to name this source, this holy, blessed source. Every single one of us with breath in our bodies right now is animated by the energy of the one. And power is defined as the giving of energy, the transfer, the use of our energy is what power actually is. All of these other definitions of power are created by the ignorance of truth. When you are ignorant of your divine nature, when you are ignorant of what you are made of, and you seek power out here, this is where all suffering begins. And so it is our responsibility to solve this problem, this misuse of power that has been plaguing humanity for millennia. It is a spiritual solution. The only solution that will solve this misuse is by becoming willing to let go of our ignorance. Becoming willing to step into our divine nature and make use of this aliveness that we've been gifted with. Make use of the power that is inherent in each and every one of us. I don't have more power than you do. You don't have more power than me. Because we don't define God, aliveness, by BS systems and structures that were made up out of ignorance. Amen? So if we want to solve these dilemmas, global suffering, it has to begin with an understanding and embodiment of truth. Let me bring it back to Ernie. So great is this power, so complete is our freedom in it, so absolute the domain of law through it, that the misuse of this power has created all suffering, all the conditions from which we suffer. And the misuse, I know most of us want to go to the stories of misuse, the history of misuse. And there are countless stories. I could stand up here for the next hour and share 2.5% of my own. But we have to drill down. We have to drill down into the root cause of suffering. And the root cause is ignorance. The ignorance of truth. All the great books have some kind of saying, the truth shall set you free. The only way the truth can set us free is when we become conscious users of our energy. The power we each have to wield. This power is not handed out by bosses or parents or presidents or dictators. This power is already here in each one of us. And when we get conscious about the use of that power, we begin to see the change in these outer circumstances, in the conditions of the world that we deeply, deeply long for. But we have to be willing to take responsibility for it. We have to be willing to take responsibility for this absolute power of powers that we each have. How many of you believe that you are a leader? You cannot have breath in your body, the energy of the Holy Blessed One, animating your very life force, and not be a leader. You are the boss of you, as I like to say. You lead the use of your energy. And we must understand the gravity of that. That every word, that every thought, that every feeling, that every expression, that every interaction, that every step I take has an impact on the whole, period. That's science. It's an unarguable truth. Which means your conscious embodiment and use of your energy matters. You are not too small to make a difference. You're making a difference with every breath you take. The question becomes, what difference are you making? What are you giving your energy to? Every thought directs energy. So it begins with allowing yourself to become conscious of what's actually going on in here. I want to share with you from Lama Rod Owens from Radical Dharma, which he was a contributor with Rev Angel Kyoto Williams. And he says, I'm not liberated. Liberation is a process. And I think one of the first important things I had to do is stop believing in my own inferiority. I had to actually stop believing what the world was trying to tell me I was. He happens to be a Black gay man. And I had to develop an experience of who I was on a fundamental level. How many of you have had a moment, or many moments, where you struggled with inferiority? Wow, white people raise their hand too. Men raise their hand too. This dilemma of the misuse of power and the systems and structures we've created as a result of ignorance isn't solved by only white-bodied folks, isn't solved by only folks with significant social privilege. This spiritual solution must be sought by each one of us, because there's only one whole. There's only one life. One of our favorite prayers around here is, there is one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect, and that life is my life now. That's how important you are. That's how much you matter. Your ignorance has to be remedied. And the other lovely truth is that we're all ignorant. A lot of hands went up when I asked if you've struggled with inferiority, which also means you struggle with ignorance. Because inferiority is not a possible truth when you recognize that you are a manifestation of the Holy Blessed One. You cannot be inferior. That's not one of the choices for God. And so when we take responsibility for our own ignorance of truth, we begin to take back our power. We begin to say, oh, no, ignorant created systems and structures that try to define who I am. Oh, no, inferiority. Not possible. Not possible. And I know for me, that work requires me to turn off the noise. That work requires me to put away the stories, the pressures, the lies that I've inherited, that I continue to confront out in this crazy ass world. And I have to intentionally turn that all down so that I can turn up the truth. We call this spiritual practice. It is not for some purpose where we think we're going to climb a holy mountain and get to the top and hang out with the other mystics. Its purpose is so that we can step into the power that is already so that we can put down the misbeliefs, the ignorance, and make use of this incredible aliveness that we've been gifted with. How many of you struggle with the idea that aliveness is a gift? Anybody feel like aliveness is a struggle? That we're on this planet to be in the life school and learn lessons?
Used to.
Yeah. What if that was not the case? I just want you to take a minute right now and breathe in to the possibility that your aliveness, that your very life has one purpose. One, to celebrate the divine nature that you are. That aliveness is for the purpose of glorifying and expressing divinity. Inherent connection, beauty, love, harmony. What if that was the purpose of being alive? And all the learning and all the lessons and all the opportunities that we bump into that are painful, uncomfortable. What if all of those things are not the purpose of aliveness, but just chances to get more in alignment with what is true? What if we just got in right relationship with our own aliveness? And the only way I know to do that is a major paradigm shift, which requires us to turn our attention from out here, from false ideas of power like control, authority over, and turn our entire attention into what is true, which is that I am an emanation of the Holy Blessed One, that you are an emanation of the Holy Blessed One. And when that is the foundation you move from, everything out here begins to shift. Our very experience of aliveness becomes one of joy. Rev. Angel Kyoto in Radical Dharma also reminds us that we have to commit to our own liberation regardless of what happens outside. That's the paradigm shift. If we are giving our energy, our power to what's happening here, what's happening in politics, what's happening in systems and structures that attempt to define you and I, if that's where I put my attention, I've let go of the greatest power I have access to. When I put my attention on the stories of injustice, when I put my attention on the stories of misuse of power, I give power to it. Because I am responsible for this power I am, for this truth that I am. Which means I have a choice to make. When I have that paradigm shift and when I decide that my greatest attention is going to be on what is true, my greatest attention is going to be on how I can more and more align myself and center myself in truth. When I confront injustice and misuse of power, when I run into those moments, when I hit those walls, I run into them completely powerful rather than powerless. Do you hear me? Do you get the difference? Because this is not about spiritual bypass and ignoring the realities of injustice and misuse of power. This is about being the most powerful version of yourself to meet those circumstances. Yes? That's how good God is. Every single story of triumph, every single story of resurrection, every single story of civil rights actors and actresses who created incredible change in this world, why do you think that story was able to be? Because they were powerful. They were full of their divine nature. They met the moment with their own power. Imagine the world we get to live in when all of us show up powerful. Imagine the change that becomes possible out here when you show up to it in absolute power. The greatest power we possess, free. We don't have to wait for somebody to tell us we're free. There is no power outside of us that has the authority to free us. That has never been the case. It is not possible. And so when we take responsibility for our own freedom, then we begin to align ourselves, our highest capital S divine blessed self, with the greatest power in the universe. And then we get to make some choices about how we use that power, what we give that power to. Take a moment right now and breathe into that space that knows that it knows that it knows, that is infinitely powered, and think about a situation in your life that you would do different right now, knowing that you had access to infinite power. That you could not fail, because that's how good God is. And that's just one drop in the ocean of change that becomes possible when you take your power back. I've got homework for you. So you've identified this place where maybe you've given your power away, yes? Where maybe you have drank the Kool-Aid and believed something about yourself that is untrue. I want you to think about whether that is in a relationship with a family member where you have taken on a belief that is untrue. Maybe it's a school environment, a work environment. Maybe you've believed a theology or a religious ideology that has told you something silly about yourself. There is nothing in you that must change except your understanding of who and what you are. So as you acknowledge that you drank the Kool-Aid, I want you to now take a moment. We're going to take the next 60 seconds together. We're going to breathe into the release of the misbelief and the claiming of what is true. So close your eyes with me. Letting go of a false truth that you have inherited, that you took on. And then know with me that there is one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. And that life is my life now. And so in this place of centered truth, let us affirm this truth in prayer. There is one life, and that life is holy. That life is blessed. That life is perfect in a way that we have yet to fully wrap our minds around. But what I know is that that wholeness, that completeness, that God-powered self is bubbling up more wholly, more fully, more consciously than it ever has before for each and every one of you. Because I know that that bubbling up is the very life of God, looking for its way into life itself through you, through me. And that this perfect motion of the Holy Blessed One is always moving, is always bubbling up. And I know that each one of us has a holy yes to acknowledging what is so, to gathering up the very power that is the spirit of good, the spirit of joy, the spirit of love, the spirit of harmony, the spirit of connection. And as we gather, as we take back, as you take back your identity, as you take back your own thinking about what is true about yourself, about life, about the world, as we each take that power back, then we gather that power and we use it. We use it in a way that affects the outer circumstances for good. We do so with every fiber of our being because that is what aliveness is. And we do it with delight. The delight and the gratitude for being alive and conscious of the greatest power in the universe. And I know that each one of us takes responsibility for that power that lives in our very breath. And we make good work of it. And it makes all the difference. And for this truth, I am beyond grateful. And so I just let it be, unfolding in all its beauty in each and every one of our lives. Anchor it with me by saying amen. Amen. And so it is.
Whoops. Trying to figure out the proper place to stand. I am practitioner Clarissa Crow, and it is time to sing Face of God. For anyone who hasn't been here this month so far, we are singing this song together every week as part of our Face of God Mosaic project. And so I would like to invite anybody brave enough to come up and form a half circle around this microphone to sing with me. And everyone who stays in your seats, please sing along too, knowing that everyone here and every one of you online are all unique, beautiful, individual expressions of the One. We are all faces of God. All right. You don't want to be closer to me? Like actually. Get a little more volume in the room. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. Thank you.
Get to ask you all to contribute to this incredible work we do together. And I wanted to point out this project we've been working on and will continue to work on throughout this beloved community series, which is our Mosaic project. So if you look at the screen, for those of you online, same, you can send a Face of God Mosaic picture or video, and you can use these QR codes to make it easy. Or you can log into our ABQCSL Spirit As Me Facebook forum. You don't have to be a Facebook user to get into that forum and post. Or if it's easier for you, you can send us a picture or a video at office@abqcsl.org. And we just want your face in the mix because I'm really excited about what our AV team, Jordana and Emil, give them a big hand. We are going to be creating our own music video with that song using the very faces of this beloved community. And I am thrilled. And the way that those projects and ideas and creative expressions of the Holy Blessed One get to happen is through your dollars. So I invite you to give what you can in support of this incredible mission of being love in action, where we get to transform our own lives and the life of this very community and beyond. You can do so by texting to give at 505-847-8431. Go to our website, abqcsl.org, and click the donate button, or pick to give using the QR code. Thank you. I appreciate every dollar. Every dollar matters. I love you.
All right, I've got a few announcements. Please remember to join us right here every Friday evening at 5:30 for our Art of Prayer and Practice. And as Amani said, please visit our Spirit As Me Facebook group to post your words, your videos, your pictures about how you are crafting and creating your own community. Also, please visit abqcsl.org. There's a lot of good stuff on there. There is a way to sign up for our newsletter. There's a way to sign up for Spirit Calling, which is 9 a.m., a wonderful message, because I did it this morning. And it also gives us an affirmation at 6 o'clock at night. So please go to the website, abqcsl.org, to sign up for that. You can also sign up for prayer requests at prayer.abqcsl, or go to About Us section at our website and find a practitioner who is willing to pray with you, who we all are willing to pray. Just reach out to us and we're here. We are going to end today's time together in prayer, because we like to pray here. So once again, I'm going to invite you just to take a deep breath into the words, into the music you heard, into the message that glimmered in your soul, allowing those shiny golden nuggets of today's aha moments for you to settle deeper into where Spirit lives. I am grateful for life's aha moments that reminds each of us to take back our voice, our power. I am thankful for the strength and the courage to embrace the freedom found within the acceptance of living an authentic life. I deeply appreciate each of you, right here and online, for joining us and sharing your unique self with us. Your light helps us shine brighter. And in remembering the truth and wisdom spoken today, I joyfully let go and release today's prayers in service into the law, knowing that the manifestation of reclaiming our power is happening in our lives right here, right now. And so it is. Please join me in today's affirmation. Today, I remember and take back my power, embracing the freedom and truth it reveals. So again, if you would like prayer for the room, we also have the baskets here for in-person giving, but also back here angel wings. They're absolutely beautiful. If you haven't seen them, please go visit them and take pictures and videos with either Dino or Joy Lynn or Amani. We are going to put that together in our Face of God mosaic. So